Hey y'all, it's your girl Millie Chan. Melody Cherie Rodgers has sat down with Ebony and did an exclusive interview talking about why she left Love and Marriage Huntsville and what is next for her. Let's get into it. So as I said, they're talking about Mel saying goodbye to reality TV and working with beauty brands and TV networks. And I love this quote from Mel. Whenever you walk away from the lion's den, why would you go back where the lions are? Absolutely. And then they talk about down here how after 9 seasons, how Mel just let it all go, right? A franchise that she helped to create. And she would be greatly missed. We were talking about that, I think, the other night on live. Like, we really miss her. We totally understand and we totally support her, but we really do miss seeing her because, this is where we met her. But we understand. She says down here, to protect my own emotional health, my own mental health, I don't allow myself to engage or be a part of a trauma that I'm still healing from, she told Ebony exclusively. She said, I don't watch the series. That is still very much a triggering piece for me because of a lot of what I went through on that show. And we get that. And then they talk about how she is an entrepreneurial goddess, right? And she stays booked and busy. She talked about this before, like how she was in multiple organizations, things she was doing in the church, right? She said, I was not limited as a child to tap into all those areas in my life that I choose to explore. And nothing is different as an adult. Mel is in everything. She is literally booked and busy. And the article goes on talking about how Mel thanks her higher power, right? And she said that she's been an entrepreneur since she's been 25 and for 15 years, right? Solely working for herself, sustaining and making it work. Mel is so motivating, right? When you look at her and what she does and how she does it and how she moves and really how her aura is, like, it's very motivating. She motivates me, and I know she motivates others. And I just love that about her. So Ebony went along with Mel for a ride. Literally went along with her for a ride, right? Leveling up her 7th Avenue beauty franchises, mastering TikTok. Here's how this Alabama gem gets business done. Like, she was picking her kids up. She was in transit. So let's just get into it. So the first question they asked was, how and why did she start this company? She said she grew up on 7th Avenue, and she said that's where she learned the importance of skincare. She said she suffered from rosacea, and her great-grandmother had given her some natural things to help with the inflammatory patches on her body. So she said that with that, she began to formulate skin products with a Black female chemist, and they're all natural, vegan, and paraben-free. They started in 2017 and launched in 2022. So then they talk about how 7th Avenue is in athletic wear, right? She said it's one-stop beauty and fashion destination, right? It's looking for the perfect fit to wear out with your girls, or like she said, what she's doing right now, running and picking up the kids. Then they said, what are some of the biggest challenges you face as an entrepreneur in beauty and fashion? She said, understanding and accepting the power of the pivot. Because I do believe that that would be something that she really would have to work on, because there's so many people coming out with their own lines of everything. She said, when you're an entrepreneur, you can't be stuck in just what you want to look like or do. That is a bar, right? Because even as a creator and different things you do in your life, you want to do what it is that you love to do, but you have to branch out to do what others like also. You have to be open and willing to pivot whenever you need to. And the time calls for it because we live in an ever-evolving, ever-changing world. Very good, Mel. And here's an example of the pivot that Mel was talking about. She said she recognized and was the face of her brand on TikTok for Black History Month. And she said she had no interest in being on TikTok because she was selling on Instagram. She was selling on her website. She had an 83% return customer rate. So she was doing well. But then she said, when I realized that TikTok Shop had grown so popular and was yielding sales, I had to get out of my way and say, okay, girl, you can keep selling on your website like you do. Right? Getting out of your way. She went on to say that TikTok wasn't easy, but she continued and she learned and she educated herself and she figured it out. And Mel is very successful on TikTok. She just had a great TikTok live like this past Saturday. It was beautiful. Then Mel explains how Nubian TV had come about. She said that even when she got on Love and Marriage Huntsville, she was thinking about how could she do this even bigger, right? So she said she's got her own production company, Tilted Crowns Production, and she's the first reality TV personality to also own a network, Nubian TV. And she talks about Sharnita's World, and it's in the second season. So they asked her what's next for her. She said she's always trying to evolve her brand, right? So she has new music coming out soon. She has a fragrance dropping soon. She said that she wants women to feel beautiful and confident when they leave the house and thinking, I know I look good today. I am just continuing to walk in my purpose. I love that. So this was very interesting to me because they wanted to know, how do you make it all work? And I love what she said. She said she doesn't believe in balance. She believes in prioritizing. So if her baby is sick, that's her priority, but if her kids are at school, she's going hard. She's grinding. She said that she also makes sure that her children understand that what she's doing is part of their process as well. They help her pack orders, and they talk to her about ideas. And she said, yes, they talk about what they want to do as it pertains to the business. And I love that. I love that Mel travels with her children. I love that she says she makes it intentional. So they see her putting time, dedication into it. They see what she's reaping. And I absolutely love that. And that's a great gift to give to your children. So, honey, they talking to Mel about her next chapter and her exit from Love and Marriage Huntsville. She was like, a lot of times, she said, with decisions I made, I didn't know what the next step would look like. She said, but in obedience, I understood the importance of trusting my own tuition and spiritual being. She said, when I left my 13-year marriage, she didn't know. And when God said, go, you go. I know that's right, Mel. And honey, she has not missed a beat. She has not missed a step since. Girl, that's what I'm talking about. So then they talked about how much people miss her. And her presence is greatly missed. It is missed, her physical when we see her, but her presence is there. She may be cut out of a particular scene, but we know she's sitting across from that person. She may not be in this scene, but we know because of Mel, that is why they're having this scene. So she was a huge part of this show. And she said that she's humble, that people actually love her and love what she brings to the table. Absolutely. She said that this show started airing in 2019. They were filming in 2018. But before that, it took her 3 years reaching out to a producer, putting in the work to bring the show to Huntsville. And she did just that. And maybe Mel can finally put this to bed about Hill Harper. They asked that it's a rumor out there that she's dating him. She said, no, never been romantically involved. We are great friends and have discussed some business things together. I booked him for a Mimosa with Melody event and donated to his campaign as he was running for office. But no, Hill Harper and I are not a romantic couple. So that's done. So they asked her what would she be doing for her 40th in November. Does she have any big plans? And Mel said no. Somebody asked her that, and she said that she's the type of person that really doesn't plan for herself, but she plans big for others. Like, she's always giving, you know what I mean? But I'm sure she's going to receive something great in return. So they went on to talk about having her friends to plan a surprise when she show up. Then they asked, how do you define rest or renewal? She said, I just had a massage last night. I love reconnecting with nature. I stayed in a treehouse in a very rural area for 2 days. There was nothing much there but woods, but just being there, being able to have that sovereign time of peace and quietness and calmness was super important to me. That's awesome. And if you could do that, that's amazing. I thought this article was great. You can find it on her, she has a link on her page on Instagram and her stories. And this summed it up. And I'm very proud of Mel, what she's doing. And like I said, she's very motivational. And we are very proud of you, Mel. It's your girl, Millie Chun. I'll talk to you later. Bye.